Hi, I'm Maria from VERTO's New Energy Apprenticeships Mentoring Program, and it is my great pleasure to introduce Lucinda Shilcock, Area Manager for Women in Male-Dominated Trades and Clean Energy for Apprenticeship Support Australia. Hey, Lucinda, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you so much.
Now, I'm really looking forward to hearing you tell me about your career journey. So, from your apprenticeship to where you are now, how did that journey evolve for you?
Yeah, it's been quite a journey. It's quite a big one. So I'm actually dyslexic and I left high school very much behind the eight ball with no skills and with no options. I pretty much said, what have I got? So I went to TAFE and I studied a diploma of events management where I taught myself how to read and write off an event planning book. And
Wow.
after 4 years in various different industries, I decided to go back to TAFE because it was a really safe place for me. Got myself an apprenticeship, and it was because it was from this fantastic support that my teacher gave me that I was able to finish my trade with 11 industry awards. Yeah, it was amazing. It
Incredible.
was amazing. Yeah, and where I started as far as work-wise, I started my apprenticeship in high-rise commercial construction, where I was hired directly by a company. And then when I hit my third year, I decided I wanted to change. I felt like I'd learned a fair bit. So I looked into companies and found an incredible company called GB Electrical. There, I did home automation, commercial maintenance, lift installation, automatic doors. And it's where I really found what a GTO was. It's where I came into the GTO world as well. I finished my trade with them and decided, like most electricians do, I want to go try out the mines. So I went to the mines, did switchboards for the mines for a bit, did crane installations and locomotive maintenance, which was awesome. Post my trade and TAFE and my apprenticeship, people wanted to hear me speak. They wanted to hear about my journey and how I made it through. So I started speaking at conferences and mentoring apprentices. I also went into companies and helped set up a mentoring programs and stuff like that. And this year I decided to turn my side gig into a full-time gig with Apprenticeship Support Australia, where I now manage an amazing team of mentors for clean energy and women in male-dominated trades.
That is incredible. ASA are very lucky to have you. So you mentioned before that you were employed by a GTO as an apprentice. So was that Nova Skill?
Yes, that was no skill. Yeah, so I've been both.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it was amazing. Like I had the benefit of seeing like being directly and being with a GTO. And don't get me wrong, they're both great. They're both great. But when I wanted to go to GB Electrical, I found out that they hired their apprentices through Novaskill. So I went into Novaskill and said, you need to hire me, and this is why. And I pulled out all of my TAFE records and like on the job references and stuff like that. And I got in front of the field officer and he said, I don't know if GB Electrical are hiring. Would you be interested? We're really interested in you, but would you be interested in going anywhere else? And I said, nope, I have to be at this company. I did my research. I knew I wanted to be there. And he said, all right, we'll see what we can do. So he ended up going and speaking to GBE, got me an interview, and the weirdest thing happened. I sat in front of them all ready to sell myself. I had all my work, and I sat in front of them, and I think I said my name and a few sentences, and they were just talking to me. They were talking to me about the job, and at the end of the interview, they were like, so you want the job? And it was funny. It was like they were selling the job to me. And I went there and, still to this day, I have a really great connection with them. Amazing. And I throw apprentices to them all the time. And it was because of Novaskill and doing their work and saying, I have this gun electrician, you need to make space for her. And, I really got to know the Novaskill family over my time as well. And they really helped launch me into the award circuit as well. And they gave me a level of assistance, both in my work life and in my personal life, that I really needed at the time as an apprentice. So it's amazing. It's amazing to be part of that family.
That's an amazing journey with Nova Skill. So you mentioned that you have quite a number of awards under your belt. So you've got some of those outstanding accolades. Can you tell us about your awards?
Yeah, so my award journey started in 2019. So I took out the Bert Evans Scholarship Award. I then took out Regional Apprentice of the Year and State Women in Non-Traditional Trades for State Training Services in 2022. I took out Group Training Overall Apprentice of the Year in 2022. In 2023, I took out TAFE Excellence Overall Student of the Year, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Student of the Year, Energy and Construction Student of the Year, and Overall Apprentice of the Year. And then also in 2003 at the TAFE Gili Awards, I took out Overall Student, Aboriginal Student of the Year, and Apprentice of the Year.
Wow.
So a lot.
Absolutely brilliant. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Yes.
Just a couple to add to the shelf.
Just a couple, yeah. My shelf is looking very full. Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to need another one.
Yes.
So that's obviously led you into your current career path as area manager supporting women in male-dominated trades and clean energy. So what does a typical day look like for you?
Yeah. So I'll start I'll also talk about my colleagues as well a little bit. So Apprenticeship Support Australia specialises in mentoring services for both apprentices and employees. We have teams that operate in generalist, First Nations, clean energy and women in male-dominated trades, ensuring that all apprentices have access to our fantastic mentoring support. And I particularly manage a wonderful team of women in male-dominated trades and clean energy mentors. We assist in a range of needs linking, from financial, mental health, housing, TAFE assistance. So if you have any neurodiversities or if you're falling behind, we can come in and help with that. And then we operate, my particular department offers specialist mentoring. So that comes down to, addressing barriers for women in male-dominated trades, advocating for their rights. And for clean energy apprentices, that looks like, where is the clean energy future? What does my future look like? Career progression, all of that. Another part of my role is our social media pages and engaging people in the network. And then we have our amazing events. So we have a continuing event that runs in collaboration with Women Empowered and Carpentry Australia and Bunnings. So it started off in Sydney, where we go and we have a huge networking day where everybody can come along and have a sausage sizzle and stuff and just meet fellow colleagues in the industry. And that's coming to Newcastle this year, which is really exciting, with our first one in Bennett's Green in March. And then another huge event for me that's kicking off in April this year is I'm in collaboration with TAFE Ultimo, and I'm hopefully, fingers crossed, this will be the same sort of roadshow that I'll be able to take along. And the purpose of that event is being able to identify the support needs for apprentices. So they come along, they come along to our booth, if we identify a need for support, it'll generate a referral through to us. And if that apprentice is with us, they'll receive that mentoring, or if that apprentice is with another Apprentice Connect provider, then it will go through to them as a referral, just ensuring that they get the support that they need. So yeah, I'm everywhere. It's a big role.
The apprentices will be very glad to see you. So how do apprentices get involved with your initiatives if they aren't already attending the TAFE sites that you're going to have these events at?
Yes. So they can engage with us through our social media pages, 100%. They can call through to the Apprentice Connect provider page. But again, we always make contact with them. So we'll be there throughout their apprenticeship as well. So we have things called progress contacts, where we will make contact with them periodically throughout their apprenticeship. And if we identify a need or an issue in their apprenticeship, then we'll spark a mentoring period for them, where we'll come out and we'll address any barriers that they're having. But yeah, it's amazing. It's an amazing program, and it's really exciting to be a part of. And it's one thing when an apprentice comes to you, right, and they're struggling, and over a course of a few mentoring periods, with the support that you've been able to provide, they totally turn it around and they're enjoying their life and getting everything that they need to get out of their trade. It's incredible. So they can contact us through any one of those channels. Always give us a call, but if they don't call us, we're going to be calling them anyway.
Yeah, definitely. No, it sounds like you've got an amazing support network set up for your apprentices. Are there any other initiatives that you are currently working on?
Yeah, so, well, ultimately, our overall goal is to get apprentices to completion, right? And help them try and navigate the challenges of apprenticeships. And on the flip side of that, getting employers to best support the apprenticeship along their journey. And, how we do this is we collaborate with the group training organisations, the RTOs, the apprentices, the employers and training services to identify their needs and help them navigate anything that's tricky. And, without adequate support, we run the risk of apprentices dropping out, and this is why this is so important. And another initiative of mine that I really like to hone in on is giving people post-career goals. When I finished my trade, there wasn't much direction, right? And this is what's great about this mentoring. We can give you advice on what's your next step. Because I remember coming through my trade and sitting my last exam, walking out those doors and going, what now? Where do I go now, right? And that's really great. And to anyone that's in that sort of situation, I just finished the Diploma of Events Manager. Fully recommend that. It is such a great course and gives you a foundation to any industry, and it's so relatable. So that's a little hot tip from me to you. And we also aim to get like a network of people, right, through our pages and through our events. It's so important, especially for women in male-dominated trades, because, it's like me, there's a lot of women in the industry now, and we're getting more. But back in my day, for 5 years, I'd never worked with a woman. I'd only ever worked with men. And to have a network of amazing industry people that you can connect with outside of work is so important. It's so important and so engaging, and even not for women as well. You never know where your network will take you. I'm successful in life because of the network that I've created around me. Yeah.
So what would your advice be for women looking to get into a trade?
Just go for it. You never know where your trade will going to take you. And right now there are so many amazing support services out there dedicated to getting you through your trade. And, my trade was some of the best times of my life. And, people often ask me, what's it like working with men? And I always say, well, every man has wives, daughters, sisters, mothers who are prominent women in their life, right? And in their own way, they want you to succeed, and they're there to help you and support you through. And, it's a very matey industry. I have mates that I've had for years who will always have my back, and I'll always have them. And, they've been some of the funnest and most meaningful employment that I think I will ever have in my life.
Well, it's absolutely incredible that you're able to take your knowledge, experience and career journey to help up and coming females looking at getting into trades, and apprentices in general. As an electrician, where do you see careers in a clean energy future headed?
Yeah. So we all know that the coal industry timeframe, it's limited. It's shutting down, and there's many initiatives at the moment in Australia to work towards clean energy or towards a net zero goal, right? And if I'm speaking about like the Hunter, we have the wind farms going out, we have the solar farms, we have the hydro plants, which are currently under construction. And, when traditionally people think clean energy, people automatically think solar. And that's it. And that's where their brain ends. But that's all changed. So there are so many industries like fitters and boiler makers, even down to planners and stuff like that, that are all classified under the clean energy sector. So if you want to know more about it, I definitely recommend jumping on the Apprenticeship Support Australia website. And if you have a look at the priority hiring list, it'll identify which one are clean energy careers. And there are so many of them. There's even like admin sort of base roles and like chefing base roles. It's amazing. It's all been extended. It's absolutely incredible. So I definitely recommend anyone thinking I really want to go on a clean energy future to go down that pathway and have a look.
So what are some of the challenges you faced in your apprenticeship and how did you overcome them? So you mentioned dyslexia, so that would have been a big part potentially?
Yes. So having dyslexia, neurodiversities, it definitely has been a big challenge, and I worked incredibly hard to succeed. But I have a fire in me that's definitely driven by people that told me that I would never, ever amount to anything. But, one thing I definitely learned, that it's okay to fall. It's okay. It's okay to fall. It's your ability to pick yourself back up and keep pushing for success is what you'll be judged on. And the one thing that I would also say is be fully honest and upfront with who you are. come forward to any job interview or anything that you're doing and say, these are my barriers, these are my workarounds, and highlight your abilities. Because for me, for example, I've had to approach life in a different way. I've had to approach learning in different ways. I've had to approach work, everything I do differently. So I can see things from a different perspective. I have an overdeveloped problem-solving ability, right? And that's a superpower in its own. And I definitely don't think I would be where I am today or as successful as I am today without that drive. You know, you look at most millionaires and some of the most successful people in the world, a lot of them have neurodiversities, but we all have really one thing in common, and it's a fierce drive to overcome it and a fierce drive to succeed. So if you're honest and upfront with who you are and what your abilities are, it 100% will not hold you back.
It sounds like you 100% know how to back yourself to reach your goals. So that's very inspirational. What piece of advice were you given throughout your apprenticeship journey that resonated with you throughout your career?
I would say always listen to any piece of advice, even if you know what it is. The reason I say this is you'll get training, and this goes for anything, even outside of trades. You will get training from many, many different people in your life, right? And you will take bits from each one and you will take it and make it into your own. And that is so important. So you never know, even though someone might be telling you something, you might be sitting there going, I already know this, I already know this. There'll be a little snippet in there that'll make or improve your life. And then on the other side of that as well, it shows a lot of level of respect to the person that's taking time out of their day to teach you. It means that they care about your success, they care about where you're going, and you never know where that network's going to take you. So that is 100% my best piece of advice. Doesn't matter what industry, what career line you're going with, always listen to advice that's given you, because you never know what little tidbits that you'll get out of it.
Yeah, that's really good advice. You never stop learning and growing, and that's how you establish such a strong support network as well.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to thank you so much for speaking with me today. Your story is absolutely incredible and so inspirational to all the young apprentices out there. So thank you very much, and I look forward to sharing this with everybody.
Great. Thank you so much.